We're going to try to get through this. I assumed I'd have a podium or something, so I'm going to lay my phone on there, and if the phone rings during the talk, we'll just pause for a minute till I answer it, okay? I gave a CD to Mr. Lemaster. Uh, it's a CD by a cancer survivor, a friend of mine. I sing in the Thumb Community Concert Choir. There's about 70 of us that get together over the Sebring Unionville area, and we have the world's greatest accompanist in Mindy Sutherland. I'm sure many of you have heard of her. Mindy made this CD between her second and third bout of cancer. She has lost her hair for the third time, and her attitude is great. And that's what I'm here to talk about today. Attitude. You are responsible for you. Nobody can change your...
Oh, look at that.
No, I don't want to use it. Thank you. You get used to doing things a certain way, and it's hard to... I'm too old to change, that's it. You're responsible for your attitude. Only you. There's a saying that Mark Twain was responsible for. Dance like no one is watching you, sing like there's no one listening. You can be whatever you want to be. A few years ago, I rode my bicycle. I live over by Bayport. I rode my bicycle over here. A lot of people thought I was nuts, and that's still open for debate. But before I rode over here, I rode over to Sebring to check on a road project that the county was doing. I then rode to Port Austin with a friend of mine for lunch. We rode back to Pigeon, and then I rode over here. It was a little bit over 100 miles that day. Now that was post-cancer. Today, I rode my motorcycle over here. Lazy. The object is not for me to show you that I can ride a bicycle without training wheels or a motorcycle. The object is to show you that you can ride a bicycle or you can ride a motorcycle. If you give up hope, what does it say on the back of the shirt? I am hope. Board of Commissioners, they'd probably want to put less on that end of mine and say I am hopeless, but I have the gavel, so they'll do what I want. But the responsibility for the attitude and the hope lies within you. You can do whatever you want to do. Caregivers, don't tell people they can't do it. There's too much of life to live. There's a country and western song out that says life is not a destination, it's a road we travel on. The joy is in the journey. And I added to that as Jesus leads us home. Now you don't have to be a Christian to listen to me up here. I have to be a Christian to talk to you. It's very important to me. But if you think life is a destination, you're on the wrong path anyway. You know, somebody said, God is my co-pilot. Well, if God is your co-pilot, you're in the wrong chair. God should be your pilot. Take the road and travel it. Put the joy in the journey. Put the hope in the journey. You can do anything you want to do. Winston Churchill once said in a special speech that he gave during England's darkest hours of World War II, when England was the only country in the world that was still fighting against the Germans. He said, never, 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 never give up. One never probably would have been enough, but he put 5 of them in there. And that's what we have to do. Never, 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 never give up. Because the joy is in the journey. Things will come and go in life. It doesn't matter if you have cancer, if you don't have cancer. Um, the way I found out that I had cancer, I went over to the hospital. I worked in the place right behind the hospital. I went into the doctor's office and he said, "Where's your family?" I said, "I'm single and I didn't want to bother my brothers or sisters to come over here and listen to you." And he said, "Well, you know you have cancer." And I said, "No, I didn't know I had cancer. I do now." And it hit me like a ton of bricks. That's the first part of the battle. When you find out you have cancer. I walked out the back door and I thought, wow, life is over. Here I go. Go see Shuttler Bus in the funeral home. Go home from here. But I ran into a friend of mine about halfway across the parking lot, Pastor Tom Beachy. What was he doing in the parking lot? He shouldn't have been there, middle of the week. He should have been off working or doing something. But he was there, and he was there when I needed him the most. We prayed about it, we talked about it, and I decided at that point that I was not going to let this beat me. I got into the exercise programs really heavy. You say, well, I can't exercise. Well, you can do something. You can exercise your mind. You can have a positive attitude. I do some things with the seniors. One of my primary exercise tools is a piece of rope about 5 foot long with a loop on each end. And I do exercises with it. It costs me $1.50. I do them consistently. If you do them and you give up, then you're letting the problem beat you. I see some people back here with shirts on that say Angels of Hope. You are an angel of hope. You may not have the shirt, but you are an angel of hope. You're an angel of hope for somebody else. A lot of times we don't look at it like that. People look at us and can tell by our lives, even by our body language, exactly where we are in life, especially if they know we're cancer survivors. When I started radiation treatments after my surgery, I thought, well, 30 days of this piece of cake. I had to drive to Saginaw. Nothing to it. That was the first day. There were 2 other guys my age, a little older, friends of mine, that were going at the same time. So it was nice to have somebody to relate to. At the end of the 30-day treatment, they got in the car and drove to Florida. I went home and laid on my bathroom floor and cried because I hurt so bad. They're both gone, and I'm still here. It's about 15 years now since that happened. I did not give up on myself, and you should not give up on yourself either. I decided I didn't want to live like that, but I didn't want to turn into a depressed blues type suffering person and tell everybody my problems because they don't want to hear them in the first place. But I wanted to get past that which was holding me back. Get out of stressful circumstances if it's possible. My advice to you is like the doctor's going to tell you. Quit smoking, quit drinking, quit doing anything that's fun. No alcohol, watch your diet closely, get outside and exercise. Anybody can do that, right? Yeah, you can if you want to. But if you don't want to, you're not going to do it. That's where a positive attitude comes in. You do it every day, that's good. You got to be like that little train going up the hill. Yes, I can, yes, I can, yes, I can. Or I thought I could, I thought I could, I thought I could. And down the other side. We are survivors. And we do what survivors do. And that is not sit on our duff and moan about life. Politics is bad enough. We look at something different. Look at the beauty of God's creation around you. One of the things that really lifted me up was going to the library. Well, what do you do in the library? What's in a library? Books. A lot of books. You get to escape in a book. TV is, that's junk. You don't want to do that. But a book, you can absorb yourself into it. You can be whatever you want to be through that book. The last 2 years, or last 5 years, this friend that I rode to Port Austin with and had lunch, we do a lot of biking. I have a bicycle at home. I have 4 bicycles at home, but one of them has 15,000 miles on it. I had a very bad heart attack. Fortunately, I had a heart attack while I was driving the ambulance. And, if you're going to have a heart attack, that's the place to have it. So I immediately pulled over. My partner said, pull over, there's something definitely going wrong here. Pulled over, he got behind the wheel, I got in the back of the ambulance, and I slapped the oxygen on me. I was helicoptered out, and I got 4 or 5 stents in and a couple replacements in there holding me together. And since then, I've had a stent that plugged up in January of this year. They said, well, that's terrible. No, that's good. I'm still here. What would have happened if I had not gone and done the exercise? Friend Lowell, he's a skinny little bugger. Excellent physical condition, had a heart attack, but he survived it because of his physical condition, the same way I did. It's not what you want to do, but if it happens to you, you luck out. Is it easy? No, it takes some work. But it's the hope that we have. The hope that can come from your responsibility to yourself. I know a guy that smoked 3 packs of Camels a day. Well, he died. And his wife said, God, how could you let this happen? I said, I don't think God had anything to do with it. I don't remember him ever buying a pack of cigarettes for that man. A lifestyle. That's your responsibility too. What is Isaiah 40, verse 31? They that wait upon the Lord shall mount up on wings like eagles. They shall run and not be weary. They shall walk and not faint. And you can do that same thing. Caregivers, be responsible. Be responsible toward your person you're giving care to, your attitude. It's very important. You come up to them and say, boy, you look rough today, things not doing so well. You look like you just had a chemo treatment or something. That's just the words a person needs to hear. I would like to answer that with, my illness and its treatments make me look this way. What's your excuse? There's a better answer and it requires a better question. Why not ask, hey, how are things going? Try to be positive about the answer you give. They give. Don't be a grouch. I know you don't want to give false hope. False hope, better than no hope. It says on the back, I have hope. Tomorrow I'm going to give a talk on faith, hope, and love. The greatest of these is love. But hope is eternal. It's all around us. I'd like to close with some words here that, if I can find it, we get together and walk, not because we don't have anything to do on a certain Saturday afternoon in June, but because we're part of a select group. We are survivors. We are not alone. There are many people out there praying for us and just encouraging us, the caregivers that are with us every day. We spend this time together with our friends, our neighbors, and like-spirited people. We walk together physically, spiritually, and we walk together as people with a common cause, we shall overcome. Maybe not this group you see here before you today, but we will find a cure, and each and every one of us will help with our presence, with our contributions, and with our prayers. May God richly bless you. Thank you.